I got it. It involved a crowbar. Good morning or good afternoon, folks, from beautiful Montrose, Colorado. We are high above the city of Montrose on a lovely cliff, and we have the San Juan Mountains in the background. And Tuck's pretty happy about all that. Hi. And we have a job to do. I was able to pick up my Amazon packages in Montrose, which contain the parts I needed for the diesel heater. So I'm going to finally have a working diesel heater. I mean, it's warm enough now that I probably don't need it for a while, but it's good to have it working. I also had to pick up my passport in Montrose because it was up for renewal and I wasn't going to be around home to get it, so I had it sent to my parents and then they sent it to Montrose. So we've had to spend a little bit of time in Montrose waiting for packages. But let me show you what the issue is with the diesel heater. The diesel heater lives right there underneath my front seat. And I drilled 2 holes in the floor below it for the exhaust and the fresh air intake. Oh no, you're stuck. Are you stuck? Yeah, you're stuck. Hang on, let me fix you. Okay, you are fixed. All right. Now let's crawl under here and I'll show you what's going on. This is the exhaust and it just sheared off like it was attached. There was more exhaust and it was attached up there. And then this is the intake and it is completely toast as well. This side's the exhaust actually, and it's still, the bit that broke off is still clamped on there with a hose clamp that is going to be really hard to get off because it's going to be full of dirt and corroded. The exhaust runs out the back and the exhaust actually broke off right here too. This is my new intake and that's going to be pretty easy to install. And this is my new exhaust and it's going to be a pain in the butt to install. It is just unscrewing the hose clamps, but they are so corroded and full of dirt that and in awkward positions that it's going to be a pain. It would be really nice if I'm able to just pull this old bit of hose and old hose clamp off, but it's not going to make it that easy for me, I don't think. This is at like the worst angle, but knock on wood, it's at least nice weather right now. I got it. It involved a crowbar. I got the hose clamp off, but then this is the pipe that sticks out of the bottom of the diesel heater, and this part of the old pipe was completely fused to that, and so it came out on little tiny bitty pieces. But I got enough of it out that I think I can get the new one in there, on there. And I can. So that fun stuff just took me like an hour and a half to get the old pieces of metal off of the pipe. But my new exhaust pipe is fitting on there. And let's see if it'll reach this old section. Oh, it will. I was going to replace this whole pipe, but it has turned into such a circus that we're just replacing this much of the pipe. That is not the best union ever, but I have a plan. So I got this stuff. This is muffler repair tape, and what should happen is that when the muffler gets hot, this will cure and will make a very good seal, and that's way more than I need for this one spot. Where do I have scissors? Because I bet this stuff doesn't tear. Maybe it does. Oh, it does. Okay, we're gonna wrap it on. I assumed this tape would be sticky. It is not sticky at all. So what I'm doing is wrapping the muffler tape around. I guess it's sticking to itself. And what should happen is when I turn the diesel heater on, this should activate the sticky stuff in there and basically fuse this tape to the metal. And now for the new air intake. Just squeeze it through this hanger that I installed already. I'm going to slip the hose pipe onto this thing right here. But I don't think I can hold the camera and do that at the same time. So this is the fresh air intake, but obviously it can't just be hanging there all the time. So what I'm going to do is wrap this in tin foil, and mainly because it's right next to the exhaust, and kind of jerry-rig it so that it's just hanging out here. We have this little elbow. It's going to go on here. This is going to go on here. And new tailpipe. All right. Here we go. Okay. Just make that accessible. I was expecting this little project to take an hour, maybe 2. We're going on 4 hours now. Yay. Okay, that's on pretty good. Oh, that one's not on as good. All right. Voila. Doesn't quite reach the end, but I have more tape. And because the muffler tape is not sticky at all, I'm actually going to cover this with aluminum foil, and hopefully that will keep it in place until I turn on the heater and it gets hot enough to fuse the tape. That's the plan. The diesel heater is fully functional. I do have an extra piece of full exhaust pipe in case my repair does not work. It's always good to have a backup plan, but at the moment it's working, and now I've got to run it for like 20 minutes to fuse that tape, to get the pipe hot enough to fuse that tape. And I don't need the diesel heater right now, but we got to run it. And what do you think? You had your dinner already. You were really bored watching Mom fix the heater. It was really boring. And as you can see, the sun is getting lower in the sky and starting to really shine there on the San Juans. I am beat doing that repair, and I am not getting anything else accomplished today. Tomorrow, though, we are going to go to the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. Probably if it's not snowed in. But that's for tomorrow. Good morning, everybody, from Montrose, Colorado. And look at this cool bronze behind me. There's another one down the street. We're going to go take a look at it. And this little mountain lion, maybe? There seems to be a lot of public art around. And Montrose is a not very big town, but it seems pretty prosperous and growing. And I did some looking to see like what the major industries are here, and hard to say. There's some fly rod companies. Russell Stover Candies used to have a factory here, but that closed down in 2021. They grow potatoes. I don't know. It seems like a prosperous city, but no major industry. This one is called Memories, and I don't actually really get it because it looks like they're like reaching for something that has run away. Somebody really wealthy lives here to be able to donate these statues. Montrose does seem like it would be a good place to live. The weather's really mild. You have tons of outdoor stuff with the San Juans right next door, and a desert to the south that's pretty awesome. But I can't really figure it out. How do people make money here? There's potato farming nearby, but potato farming doesn't make a town look as nice as Montrose is. Lots of hunting, I imagine, in the area. But again, not something that brings a ton of economic activity and growth. And there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of home building I'm seeing here. I did find out that the chairman of Starbucks lives here. So yeah, you've got some wealthy people here. Also, the former CEO of JCPenney's lives here. So maybe they're investing a lot in their town. I don't know. Or else the fly rod industry is way bigger than I thought it was. It's a little bit of an enigma, but I'm not sticking around. We are headed to Black Canyon of Gunnison National Park, pretty much just to say we went there because it's mostly closed right now. They closed the main road through the park in wintertime and only have it open to snowshoeing and skiing. And in the wintertime, they don't allow dogs on the snowshoe / ski trail / road. So we can't do much but go to the visitor center and go, ooh, we were here. And then we are headed to Delta, Colorado, where I'm hoping we're going to get to see a whole bunch of sandhill cranes. Montrose is also home to a really nice dog park, and we spent some time there this morning. So Tuck has had his socialization and some pretty good exercise this morning. And it turns out Montrose, at least according to a fellow I was talking with at the dog park, Montrose has 84 parks in the city. And it's only a town of 20,000 people. It's not a very big town. Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park is just outside of Montrose, like maybe 10 miles outside of town. And it's just a canyon. It's a really pretty canyon, very dramatic. So Black Canyon of the Gunnison sits pretty high on a plateau, and so gets a lot more snow than the surrounding areas, even though it's literally about 10 miles to Montrose. The road is snowed in up here. And it looks like there was a really recent wildfire. We're at the first lookout point, and you get a lovely view of the canyon here. And yeah, there was definitely a big wildfire. The fence that's all around here is all brand new, and the trees are burned right up to the fence. So yeah, I don't know when the wildfire was, but it was recent. That is still very black burnt ground. And yeah, brand new fence. There we are. And you can go up to just about the visitor center, and that's about how far we can go, which is not very far. Got my sticker. I already have a patch from here, but I don't think I have a sticker, so we have added a sticker to the collection. This is somewhat treacherous stairs, I'll see you when we get to the bottom there. I can hear the river down there, but you can only see a little tiny bit of it. For this portion of the stairs, I'm sticking to the side where there's no snow and ice. We've made it to the end of the little lookout below the visitor center. It was very icy, but we have a nice little view of a small portion of the canyon. That's the Gunnison River flowing down there. Most of this rock is metamorphic rock. It's gneiss and schist and granite. It's hard to see in the camera, but there's like little spires of rock that are pretty cool looking. And that's about all we get to see of the canyon. It is very dark in color, and that's partially why it gets its name, but it also gets its name because it's a very steep, dark, deep canyon. And normally you can go over on the north rim and actually drive down to the bottom of the canyon, but that's closed because winter, so we won't be doing that. And I think that's all we get to see of the canyon, so we're gonna head to Delta. Are you very excited that I'm back? Are you ready to go to Delta? Oh my goodness. You gotta get on your own seat. You gotta get on your own seat. All right, scooch over. Good boy. We have found ourselves in a small farming community near Delta, and we are headed to what's called the Fruit Growers Reservoir. Yep, I assume they grow fruit around here, just based on that name. Dead ahead in front of us is Grand Mesa, which is just a big mesa, and it looks really cool, and I've seen lots of stuff about exploring it, and I never have. And we're not gonna right now because while this side of the mesa doesn't have much snow on it, the other side and toward the top is gonna have a lot of snow. So we will save that for a future adventure. But right now we are headed toward the Fruit Growers Reservoir, and hopefully we're gonna see some birds. This is the Fruit Growers Reservoir, and I don't see hide nor hair of a sandhill crane. And this is supposed to be where they overwinter, where very large numbers of them overwinter. But not today. I don't hear them either. And they're kind of noisy birds with a distinctive bird call. And yeah, I don't hear a darn thing. But at least it's a beautiful day. It's got to be at least 50 degrees out. So it's pleasant to be outside and walk by the reservoir, but no cranes. Good boy. Good boy. All right, let's go find a camp spot. This is Delta, Colorado, Main Street, and we are just cruising through town. There's not a whole lot in Delta. It's a town of about 10,000 people, and I think it's mostly agriculture based. It's pretty arid land around here, but they have irrigation from the Escalante and the Gunnison rivers, so they can grow a lot of stuff. But I don't think there's too much other industry here. Tourism, probably some forestry. And it's just another town dressed up for Christmas. I don't have to be looking at a map right now to know that we are traveling through BLM land. This is what a lot of BLM land looks like. Desert. Lots of desert. We are entering the Dominguez-Escalante National Conservation Area. And basically we're entering some really cool desert area. We are driving right into the sun. I can see okay, but man, It is unpleasant driving into the sun like that. It looks like there's going to be plenty of good camping spots back here. Should not be any problem at all to find a spot. And the lower in elevation we get, the less snow there's going to be for the most part. And so campsites are going to be accessible. When there's a lot of snow on the ground, I have a hard time finding accessible campsites. There may be plenty there, but you can't necessarily get to them when there's a lot of snow. But we don't have that problem right now. This is a cool canyon. Let's see if I can find a kind of a flat spot. That's always the kicker. I think this will do. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're in a nice little canyon. Cool rocks up there. Looks like there's a dry wash right next to us. I'm fairly certain it's going to be a dry wash and not something with actual water flowing through it. But let's go look. I can just wander willy-nilly right now because it's December. There's not going to be any rattlesnakes. Oh yeah, that is indeed a dry wash. If I felt ambitious, we could hike up to the top of there. I'm not feeling that ambitious. What do you think, little one? Does that work for you for a camp spot? Are you hungry and you want your dinner? You're eating random stuff off the ground? Yeah? Eating random stuff off the ground? Hi. Here you go. We are losing daylight fast. The sun has just slipped over the horizon, and I'm gonna make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and then set in the Jeep and do some editing, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, folks. This is a pretty cool canyon. I'm pretty happy about my camp spot. And we're gonna drive up this road some more. I can't go that far because it goes up over the Uncompahgre Plateau on Forest Service roads, which are almost certainly going to be snowed in. But it looks like there might be a cabin, a historic cabin, not too far up the road. So we're gonna go check that out. As soon as I collect my dog who is scavenging stuff. What are you finding? Are you finding things that I would prefer you don't eat? Well, you're definitely eating something. Hi. What are you finding to eat? Whatever it was, it is no longer there. You successfully ate it, whatever it was. Good boy. You want your window down for this? At least a little bit. Yeah. He's learning how to stick his head out the window. And that's a good thing. It's the little things that make me really happy. My dog now knows that windows are fun when you stick your head out them. Head out the window. Pretty quick we end up crossing the Gunnison River and what looked like active train tracks, but I didn't hear any trains while we were camping. And you could have heard them because it's literally like less than half a mile from where we were camped to the train tracks. Hi. This territory looks like Utah with the sandstone canyons and all the cottonwoods. And we're just a stone's throw from Utah, so kind of makes sense. I don't have much information about this place except that it was built by a guy named Harry Walker and his sons, and he was a brick mason, and it's a really nicely built cabin, but that's all the info we have. What do you think, Tuck? No, I didn't notice these windows before. There are several places you can look in. Of course, there's lots of spider webs on the inside, so you gotta look through the spider webs. Cool stone fireplace. What a peaceful place this would have been to live. And right along the base of those cliffs is the Escalante River. And this is a low canyon bottom, and you would have been able to do some agriculture there. What do you think, Tuck? Is it nothing all that interesting for you? Yeah. The cabin was built in 1911, so it's not terribly old. And I think we're going to drive down the road a little bit more and see where we can go. Is that a bunch of deer sitting in that field? No. Is it sheep? I think it's sheep. It's sheep. Bighorn sheep. Yeah, those are sheep. A whole bunch of bighorn sheep. That's so cool. They're just lazing about in a farmer's field on a sunny but cool winter day. And we have happened upon another cabin. This is the Captain Smith's cabin. The front cabin was built in 1911 by Captain Henry A. Smith, a Civil War veteran and expert tombstone carver. He laid up 3 rock walls against an upright stone slab and carved his name and rank on the outside. The interior contains a hollowed-out bed-sized alcove and gun niche. For his numerous guests? How are you having numerous guests out here in 1911? For his numerous guests, he later built a second cabin with beds below and in the loft. On the wall is a hinged shelf which hides a secret room. To your left and up the cliff face, he carved his initials and the name of his blacksmith friend, Roy Bowen. The horseshoe and star are the insignia of the blacksmith shop. So up there, It says Roy Bowen, and there is a horseshoe and a star, and lots of other people that have graffitied on the rock. Let's check this out. Tuck, 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 tuck. Good boy. That's the cool rock that he used for one of the walls. And inside, this is pretty cool. Oh, yeah, and he carved a little niche out of the wall for his bed. Okay, let's check out this back cabin. Tuck, tuck. Yeah. This one actually has a wood floor. And is this the secret room? Or was it formerly back there? I think this must have been the secret room. And, oh, so much rodent poop. Hi, buddy. Good boy. You're having fun exploring this place, huh? Pretty cool. Let's head down the road. We have come to the Potholes campground, and with a name like that, there has to be something pretty cool. I'm climbing over these rocks and taking a look at the water down there. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's way cool. But I think I'm gonna have to send up the drone to really get a good look at it. It just looks like a portion of the canyon where the river has carved a ton of potholes. There's an informational sign that tells you that the water hydraulics here are very dangerous and has a list of all the people that have been killed trying to go through here. That's a little crazy. I don't think I would be wanting to take a kayak through here, but I'm gonna send up the drone. All right, let's see if we can see something cool. I can't actually tell if I'm getting anything good on the drone. So hopefully we see some potholes. I just can't see my screen well because of the bright light. So I won't know really what it looks like until I upload it on the computer. Hey, good boy. And that actually goes for about 90% of the footage I shoot. I'm just pointing the camera in the appropriate direction and hoping something turns out. Most of the time I can't actually see the screens, so it's amazing that I get any footage at all. I'm kind of sitting sideways right now. But these are the exact kind of rocks where you would expect to see petroglyphs. And there's a network of little trails back here. And so I'm looking for petroglyphs, but I don't see any. But we'll keep our eyes open. Oop. Ah. Sorry, Tuck. We are driving through somebody's ranch right now. And down to, I assume, the river bottom. We've got a whole lot of cottonwoods that we're about to drive through. And this may be where it gets squirrely because there may be impassable portions of the road, which we may be coming up on something right here. I don't love that. I think people have obviously gone through that, but that looks awfully muddy. Okay, I'm calling it. I don't want to do that river crossing, even though it doesn't look terribly treacherous. It looks muddy. So we are going to turn around and go back down the way we came and find a camp spot. You want your food ball? Here you go. So I ended up at the same campsite that I was at last night. I actually saw one that I was like, oh, that would be a good campsite as I was driving up the canyon. And then I just totally spaced it coming down the canyon. So I'm back at the old campsite I was at last night. And it's time to make some dinner. I had slightly grand ambitions for today for food, but I'm just hungry. I'm making a salad. It's fast. It's easy. It doesn't require cooking. I ran out of fresh tomatoes, so we're putting some sun-dried tomatoes on our salad today. How do I open this? I think I should probably cut those up. They're kind of big. This is mine. This does not belong to little ones. Okay. Et voila, dinner is served. And you're waiting for more cheese, aren't you? All right, I'm gonna eat my dinner, and I think that's it for today, guys. And I wanna thank all of you for coming along with me. It's amazing that you're coming along with me. And if you made it this far in the video and you're not a subscriber yet, maybe you should subscribe. It costs nothing, and it really does help. We'll see you down the road.